what's up, gang? Joe here with Fishing with Happy. I decided to add some content to the videos this year, so instead of just fishing, I wanted to add some fixing motors, basically still for fishing, getting out on the water so we can fish. But I started to just kind of, as a hobby, fix up some motors and stuff like that, and I've had some people contacting me, wanting me to fix some motors for them and stuff like that. But I am just a novice, so just kind of learning as I go. So if you got any suggestions, something I did wrong, something you'd do differently, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Take it easy on me. I'm just a beginner, but this is one of the first ones that I'm doing. It's a 6 horsepower Johnson that had been sitting for a while, probably going to be doing some more of these boat videos, but I'm going to stick with the fishing videos too. We are restoring a couple of smaller outboard motors, and one of them is this Johnson here. It's a 6 horsepower 1976 model 6R76A, 2-stroke, of course. And I had a buddy that wants me to restore this and see if he can get it going so his son can take it out fishing on the lake. And they also gave me this 1947 Evinrude, which who knows if we can get that going, if there's any parts left for that. But for right now, we're going to first work on this Johnson Seahorse. The story on this motor is it has not been run in a minimum of 15 years is what I've been told. Could have been that it was started 15 years ago and hasn't actually been run, and heck, I mean, it could be 30 years, who knows. But let's get the cowling off here and we'll show you what we're working with. This is the Johnson 6 horse. It's got 2 cylinders there, and then you got your carburetor here, which we'll probably take a look at and clean out, your choke, your pull cord there, and your flywheel, and then of course your lower end we'll probably take a look at too, see how that impeller looks. But for right now, since the motor hasn't been run in a while, 15 years, I don't know the shape of those cylinders. So the first thing I want to do is to pull these plugs out and put some lubricant down there and let that sit for a good, say, 24 hours. And then kind of work the cylinders a little bit, because I really am kind of afraid to just fire it up. And if the cylinders have been sitting that long, I don't know what's going to happen. I could break them. I just really want to be cautious with this motor here. So I want to get some lubricant into these cylinders before I really mess with the... We might change those plugs too. Don't look terrible, but since we're restoring this, we might, I don't know, we'll check the gaps on those in a little bit. What I'm using here as my lubricant is this Seafoam Deep Creep. I've heard some good things about this. I guess it's fixed people's compression. If it's not too bad, they've gotten better compressions readings after putting this stuff in there, and it's also something I guess you want to use if the motor's been sitting for a while. So what I'm going to do is just spray a little bit of this Deep Creep into the cylinders here, and I'm going to spray a liberal amount, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that sit 24 hours, and I'm going to just maybe work that flywheel and work those pistons and get this lubricant into these cylinders before I even attempt to start it. So I'll just fill these and then get them lubricated up before I even really attempt to do much with this motor here. Okay. There we are. I will come back and just kind of move the flywheel or the pull cord. I might have the pull cord off though to fix the carburetor, but that is step one. I just wanted to lubricate up those those cylinders with a little bit of this deep creep before I even attempt to crank it over or anything like that. Really just wanted to check this motor out in the first place. Alright, just to be thorough, I wanted to do a compression test on these two cylinders just to see what kind of compression we're getting, because we haven't had, the engine hasn't been used in many years, so just wanted to check that out after getting our deep creep in there and cleaning it out a little. So I have unhooked the two boots on the plugs here, and I've taken out the top plug, the bottom one's still in there, and I've screwed this in pretty tight. There's our compression tester there. Just going to set it here. Want to make sure here that we're at wide open throttle for this test, and you just pull the cord about 6 or 7 times, and that'll kind of give you a reading on the compression tester here. So here we go. Okay. Oh wow, okay. Looks like we're getting about 85, 86, 87 PSI on that top cylinder. I don't know if you can see that. So the spec for this particular 6-horse Johnson is 85 to 90. We were just under 90 there, so that top cylinder looks pretty good. All right, let's pop this top plug back in. There we are. And we're going to take out the bottom plug. And screw our compression tester. Oops. And to the bottom. Get it decently tight there. All right, reset the tester. There we are. Okay, and we'll check the bottom one. Still in wide open throttle. Okay. All right, and there we are. That one looks slightly lower, but still within a decent range there. That's at least 85 PSI. So looks like the cylinders are good on this old Johnson. So once we fix the other parts, hopefully we'll get her going.